Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Episode 4, and the rumours continue to be piling up. A lot of breaking news this week. Um, in fact, one was breaking earlier on today, which we'll speak about in more detail. So yes, things are definitely um, gearing up as the season is approaching very soon. So let's start with the first rumor. What should I say? First official news before we get into rumors. So the first one is Liverpool signing Dominik Szoboszlai. I won't speak in too much detail as I did my own sort of show about the player himself. But just to briefly give you my thoughts on the player, very, very happy with the signing. At first, I didn't feel like it was a realistic signing at all for Liverpool. He's a player that, for me, ticks all of the boxes. He's a player that will provide an attacking threat from midfield, which we've probably never had under Klopp, if I'm being honest with you. He's a great set-piece taker as well. He can score free kicks, penalties, has amazing technique on the ball. So I regard this as a marquee signing. I know he's not a big name to a lot of people. I've been following him for a couple of years now. And for me, he was always the dream signing that I looked at when I tried to identify players for this Liverpool team. And we finally got him. So, yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans are as well. I feel like a lot of rival fans are a bit worried about this signing, even if they don't want to say it out loud. But the silence speaks louder than words sometimes. Next rumor, keep saying rumor. The official news that came out, I think about a couple of hours actually, was Granit Xhaka, who joins Bayer Leverkusen for a fee of 21.4 million. A good move for the player. He joins Xabi Alonso's side, and I think his experience will be very important to a young team that is really improving under Alonso's tutelage since he joined last season. For Arsenal, this move was always on the cards, and I think they've already signed their replacement in Declan Rice. So Arsenal may have lost a very valuable member of their squad, but they have replaced him with a very, very top player and someone that can also be a future captain for Arsenal, in my opinion. So good move for Xhaka, and I think a good replacement in Declan Rice for Arsenal. Next rumour is something I broke yesterday, and let's stick to Arsenal. So reportedly yesterday, Arsenal have agreed a 38.5 million move for Ajax defender Julian Timber. Another great signing for Arsenal. Timber is a very versatile defender, can play as a centre back or as a right back in a back three or a back four. The fee is a bargain in this current climate, and Arsenal have done great business once again. Next rumour, Tielemans has signed for Aston Villa on a free transfer. I think this is a great move for both club and player. Tielemans has joined the team that's on the up, in my opinion, especially with Unai Emery in charge. Villa will be playing European football next season in the European Conference League, and they have some great talent in the squad as well. So just an early prediction, I think Villa could be a surprise team in the Premier League next season. I'll do a review, obviously, as the weeks go on, but just looking at this squad and this type of signings that they're trying to make, they're trying to definitely make an impact next season. For Villa, they're signing a young player who already has a wealth of experience under his belt and could play a key role to their success next season. So overall, a good signing for Villa. Another signing that was announced yesterday, Bobby Firmino joins Al Ahly on a free transfer. Now, a lot of people have so much to say with regards to players moving to Saudi Arabia. I don't see what the problem is, to be fair. It's quite obvious because it's Saudi Arabia and people can't help but to be ignorant because it's a Muslim country. No one had an issue when players went to America or China. Shameful behavior, if you ask me, but let's stick to football rather than politics or religious views. In regards to Bobby moving there, I think it's a great move for him and good for him. He deserves a big paycheck for himself and his family and for all the graft and hard work he's put in over the years, especially playing for Liverpool. So All I can say is all the best to Si Senor. I hope you do well in Saudi Arabia. Now, on to the next section. This is news that I've taken, transfer news that has broken in the last few days, and that's Manchester United placing a bid of £38.5 million for Inter Milan goalkeeper Andre Onana. And as expected, it got rejected very promptly. With that kind of offer, they have a better chance of signing Handanovic than Onana. If they want to acquire the player, they will need to increase the bid with a bigger amount. I think possibly 60 million would be the fee that Inter Milan are looking for, as Onana is regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. So United will need to get the checkbook out and place a more reasonable offer. Otherwise, Inter won't negotiate any further. So it is. News. Manchester City are in advanced talks with Red Bull Leipzig for Gvardiol. Honestly, it's not fair if they get him. A player who I believe in time could be the best defender for years to come. No price quoted as of yet, but I would assume it's in the region of 80 to 100 million. Let's see how his story unfolds. I hope nothing comes out of it, to be fair. On to rumours now. So, a lot to discuss. Liverpool have apparently made an inquiry for Chelsea's Levi Colwill. Apparently, the interest was rebuffed, and Chelsea have told Liverpool that the player is not for sale. I think Liverpool like the player. I think that's quite obvious in recent months. But if they really want to sign Colwill, they will need to offer big. And I'm talking the region of 50 to 60 million. That should be enough to prize the talented defender away from the club, who, by the way, is also a Liverpool fan and regards as Gerrard as one of his favourite players. So let's hope there's some movement in this, as he would be a fantastic signing for Liverpool. And sticking to Liverpool, another one that's come out in the last few days is Tchouaméni possibly join Liverpool. Apparently, the rumours are saying that it could be a loan with a option to buy the player. Some have even said that the rumour surrounding Lavia is a smokescreen as we try to sign Tchouaméni. My opinion on both of these sort of stories is it's complete BS. I can't see Real Madrid selling Tchouaméni this summer. The move hasn't worked as planned, but he's still a great player. And for this being a smokescreen for Lavia, I don't buy it. Lavia is one of Liverpool's prime targets, so it's safe to say that Tchouaméni to Liverpool is not happening this summer. Now we'll stick to Liverpool again. Henderson to join Steven Gerrard at Al Ettifaq. Apparently, Gerrard has set his eyes on acquiring the Liverpool captain. Now, I know we've all seen the video of Gerrard speaking Arabic as he was unveiled as the new manager. And some people even compared it to how Joey Barton spoke in a French accent when he was at Marseille. The difference is Gerrard is actually speaking or trying to attempt to speak a different language, and he's not just putting in an Arabic twang or accent to what he's saying. So look, props to Steven Gerrard. He's in a new country where they obviously speak a different language. He's trying to make an effort with the fans. It's nice to see. I like it when people have these sort of agendas with my boy Stevie G there. So, with regards to the links to Henderson moving to Saudi, I don't see any truth in it, to be fair. I know a lot of fans would be over the moon if Henderson left. Just because he had a bad season doesn't make him a completely useless player in the squad. Personally, I would still keep Jordan Henderson, but as a squad player, I think his experience and leadership qualities will be an invaluable asset to this Liverpool team that is currently being rebuilt. So right now, I don't see any legs in that story at all. Another one is Fabinho, being linked to a move to Al Ittihad. The club is managed by former Wolves and Tottenham manager Nuno Santo. It's an interesting one. If I'm being honest, if a big offer came, I think the club should consider it. For me, Fabinho is on the decline, so a move away would suit both parties. But I don't see any truth to the rumor as well. and it's not something that I will seek to sell for Fabinho. I think if we get a good offer, it's worth considering, but I feel like he still has something to give to the Liverpool team, so I wouldn't quite get rid of him as of yet. Now, the next one is Manchester United, who are set to bid 50 million for Atalanta's Danish striker Højlund. Now, I've seen him play a couple of times for Denmark, and he looks like an amazing talent. He could be a lethal striker in years to come. So I think this is definitely the type of signing that Manchester United should make. They should build their team around this young striker who could be one of the best lethal finishers in Europe. That's how much I rate him. So fees 50 million, which, let's be honest, is nothing in this day and age. But there's always one player that United fans are dreaming of signing, and that's Harry Kane. And according to rumours today, Tottenham are set to offer him a new contract. Now, if he signs this contract, honestly, I would actually lose a bit of respect for him. He's got so many clubs that are willing to offer him anything to join their clubs. But if he signs for Tottenham, I think he's missing an opportunity of winning any silverware before he retires. I know that might seem a bit harsh, but let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Next comment, Brighton have said that they are only willing to listen to offers of around 100 million for Caicedo, which is ludicrous. But guess what? That's not going to put Chelsea off at all. They will continue their hunt to sign this player. I think regardless of the price, they will get their man in the end. So, yeah, watch this space. I do see Caicedo joining Chelsea this summer. It might not happen anytime soon. It could probably actually happen in late August. That'll be my prediction there. Another rumour, Newcastle, who are currently leading the race to sign Leicester City's Harvey Barnes. Now, this would be a fantastic signing for Newcastle. Another great young British player who has really flourished at Tyneside, in my opinion, as there isn't anyone who's actually cemented that left wing position in the Newcastle team. So I think this would be a great move for the player, and I could definitely see this one happening. Another rumour, Villa and Everton are chasing Leeds United Italian winger Wilfred Gnonto. From what I saw last season for Leeds United, very impressed in terms of how he plays. Player with huge potential, great pace, great trickery on the wing, and quite frankly, too good to be playing in the Championship. So not surprised that he's been linked to a move back to the Premier League. But I am surprised that other teams aren't interested, with the likes of Crystal Palace, who are actually looking for a new left winger in the team, as Wilfried Zaha is set to leave the club. Speaking of Palace, actually, they've recently been linked to a move for Callum Hudson-Odoi, and that may be why Gnonto hasn't been linked with the club. For me, Callum Hudson-Odoi would be a fantastic signing for the Eagles and the perfect long-term replacement for Zaha. Hudson-Odoi has always said that he wants to play regular football. So at Crystal Palace, I'm sure he'll definitely get his time there. Plus, he'll be back in London and playing alongside some exciting young talent with the likes of Eze and Elise. So Crystal Palace fans, this is one rumour that you should be definitely excited about. And if it happens, you've got one great player set to join the ranks. Another rumour, Tottenham are linked with Wolfsburg's Mickey van der Ven, who's been strongly linked with Liverpool as well. I think a move to the Premier League would be great for the player. I think he has the skill set to really excel here. And Spurs have been trying to sign a quality left-sided centre-back, I think since last summer. And they were not close, but there were strong talks to get Bastoni from Inter Milan. But that never happened. So with regards to this rumour, I think there's legs to the story. And I can see him being a Spurs player this summer. Excuse me. And the final rumour of today is West Ham being linked with a move for Norwich's Max Aarons. Now, I'm very surprised that Max Aarons is still playing in the Championship. He's been linked with moves to the Bundesliga in the past for quite a while, but they never seem to materialize for whatever reason. But a move to West Ham would be great for his career, in my opinion. and he'll be playing European football next season as well. So it's a win-win for both club and for the player. Before we wrap up, just got a comment here from Madison. His comment is Xhaka, Tierney, Tavares, Holding, Balogun, Pepe, Partey, Cedric, Lukongo, Lunarson. Arsenal want to generate upwards of 150 million in fees for these players. Do you think this is attainable? I think it is. In terms of the names that you've just mentioned there, I wouldn't say they would bring a lot of money into the club. I think Xhaka was probably one of the big assets, and you sold him for 21 million, which for me is probably a fair price. Tierney wouldn't go for too much, in my opinion. I know he was heavily linked with Newcastle, I think a few months ago, so that's one there. Tavares, from what I heard, has done well at Marseille, so that could be a move, but I couldn't see that being a big transfer fee. Holding, that wouldn't be a big transfer fee. It'd probably be a move to a team in the Premier League or maybe even the Championship. Balogun, who I saw actually earlier today, was linked to a move to Chelsea. His stock is really high, so that would be one player that would get some money into the club. Pepe, I'm not sure in terms of how he's done in Ligue 1. I'm not sure if he's doing well or if he's sort of playing an average rate. Not sure. Obviously, Arsenal won't be regaining anything close to what he had paid. So yeah, that one will just depend on how well he's doing. Partey, I think there'll definitely be suitors for him. It's a shame that he's thinking of leaving Arsenal, but yeah, I think he'll be one player that you can get a good transfer fee. Cedric, no, I don't think you'll be able to get a big transfer fee, to be fair. Lukongo showed a bit of promise when he joined Arsenal, but I think because of his loan spells at Crystal Palace, he hasn't really done well. And Lunarson, I wouldn't know too much about him, to be fair. So 150 million seems like a big target. I think a steep target, to be fair. But is this to acquire more players, or is this trying to make up for money that's already spent? So like the Declan Rice deal, for example. So I think 100 million would be more of a realistic target to try and regain from selling all of these players. But that's a lot of players to sell in one window. Remains to be seen if that can happen. But yeah, that seems like a big task. But you never know. Nottingham Forest signed 22 players last year. Anything's possible, I guess, when that happens. So that's the conclusion of our episode today. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Madison, as always, for your comment. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Next piece of content will probably be another transfer talk, episode 5 next week. Plus, if there's any breaking news with regards to Liverpool, I'll be there to do some exclusive content. If you haven't already, follow me on social media at Ozzie FTP on Twitter or Ozzie.ftp on Instagram for any further announcements with regards to content, or just to check my stories in terms of my opinions on breaking news. I'm posting a lot of reels and short videos as well, so make sure to check those out and drop a comment as well and to let me know your thoughts. But as always, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very soon. Goodbye.